Welcome back, Plant Science. So now that we have drawn our best plant and shown it to Mr. Ramsed, it's time to look a little bit more at the different parts of plants and kind of compare and see how your drawing was. Now, I wasn't expecting you to draw a seed on your plant anywhere, but the seed is how the plant starts in a lot of cases, right? And it's important to know the anatomy of a seed and what that looks like, okay? There are several key parts of a seed that we must consider when we're planting, okay? That's the seed coat, the epicotyl, and the hypocotyl. The seed coat is the coating that protects the seed and can be scarified or treated to make a little bit softer. And we'll talk about scarification in the next slide. Then we have our epicotyl. The epicotyl forms all plant parts above the first node of the stem, okay? So epi, like your epidermis or your epidermis, that's your skin, the outermost layer. It forms all plant parts above the first node of the stem. And then you have your hypocotyl, and that forms the lower stem, so anywhere beneath that first node and the roots. And we'll talk about nodes a little bit later, but for now, just so you know, a node is any part on the plant where a flower or a leaf comes out, and the inner node is the space of the stem in between two nodes. So kind of like an exit on a highway. So the leaf is your exit to staples, the internode continues on, and the next node is, let's say, Wadena. The internode is the road between staples and Wadena. So kind of like between two different leaves on a plant, can be compared to an interstate on a highway. Okay. Then obviously we have germination, and seeds are able to germinate when the seed coat is softened by water in favorable temperatures, and this results in a seedling or a plant that's starting to emerge. So there are two different types of seeds, and we have monocots and we have dicots, and we'll do a little bit of an experiment in class to compare and contrast the two. But basically, mono means one and di means two. So a monocot has one cotyledon, whereas a dicot has two cotyledons. Okay, the root system on a monocot is generally going to be fibrous, so it's going to spread out a little bit more, and a dicot is going to have a taproot system where it's pretty straight and narrow with a couple of secondary roots branching off. Then we have our vascular bundles. In a monocot, those are going to be scattered, and in a dicot, they're going to be ringed. The leaf structure on a monocot is going to be a parallel leaf, whereas a dicot is going to be net-like veins within the leaves. And then our flower on a monocot, they're going to appear in multiples of 3, whereas dicots are going to be groups of 4 or 5. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about monocots and dicots, a little experiment that we'll do in class here in the next couple days. Okay, but sometimes it's important to note that the seed coat can be extremely tough to break, and this may prompt us to scarify our seeds. Okay, there are two different ways that we can do this, mechanically and chemically. Mechanical scarification involves filing, hammering, chiseling away, etc. the seed coat to help the seed break dormancy. It's important, however, to not damage the interior of the seed, your epicotyl and your hypocotyl. You just want to soften that seed coat to help that seed erupt. Okay? And chemical scarification involves the soaking of the seed with the chemical solution to soften the seed coat, again allowing for that plant to emerge. Okay? So that's where we're going to stop for now. We're going to talk about germination here in the next video, but hopefully that gave you a nice overview of the anatomy of seeds at least.